I wonder if it'll tell me if we're live.
It's on right now.
Okay. There it goes. Hey everybody. We'll start shortly. I'll let everybody join. Currently, our youngest daughter is crying for no reason. Probably because she's tired. So, Jason's trying to convince her that she needs to be sleeping. Wonder how I can share. I'm going to try and share this, maybe. I don't know how to do that. And I'm assuming it'll show me comments, right? I don't know how to share it. Maybe I can't share it since it's my post. I'm obviously not technological. Oh, I did it. Just... Okay. Yay! I'm full of awkward banter by myself. And actually, I'm pretty much the driving force for the banter because I have lots more to say than Jason does. If you I don't know, hopefully you guys can't hear him. We have this, like, our youngest, she wants to go through this whole thing every night. I love you to, like, Pluto and back, she says. I give you, she'll, like, blow you a kiss, like, I give you 1,000. And then she'll tell Jason to, like, tell mommy she's the best. Tell her I love her. Will you pray for me? I'll pray for you that you don't have bad dreams. Like, she goes this whole litany. And so she won't let you leave. She, like, holds you hostage until she goes through all this. And then they have, like, the sound machine in their room that's really loud for some reason. Our oldest daughter likes it really loud. It's just white noise. It's this hum, but it's loud. So then you're trying to leave, and our youngest is yelling, I love you! Don't let the bad bites bite! Like, she's yelling this. And you're outside the door going, good night! So Jason's going through that whole ritual right now because she won't stay in bed. Oh, everybody's here. It's going to be a party tonight.
All right, I'm here now.
Okay, Jason's back. They're all talking about my awkward banter and awkward banter in general. Scott does the same nighttime routine with his 21-year-old that we do with Ryan.
You have to yell at her and tell her good night. That's enough. Stop talking. It usually ends up, I freaking love you too.
Yeah.
Like that.
I love you.
I love you. I freaking love you too. Ah.
I'm always like, I said good day, good night. It's over. When I put her to bed, it doesn't. We don't go through that. I'm like, you get to tell me one thing, so you better make it the most important thing, and know that I'm going to tell Daddy everything. Okay, that's all we're doing. Then I sing them 2 songs. I don't rush through the songs like you do.
Okay, get bigger.
Party time! I know. Everybody's here.
All right, I'm trying to get this thing up and running, but it's just yelling at me. We got 5 people. Exciting. I shared it on my Facebook. I figured out. It took me a bit, but I figured out how to do that. I gotta get my list up too. There we go. Hey, there we go. All right, get my list and then we're gonna roll.
You don't have it memorized? It's all fake news anyway. You just make it up.
You can go ahead and get started with your 130 if you want to.
Okay, so tonight we're going to do 130 to 111 so that we can have like a special dramatic 110 to 1... Well, it's really 110 to 101. Or is it 111 to 101?
111 to 101.
Oh, I got to redraw my
No,
line.
it'll be 110 to 101. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah.
No, it has to be 111.
No.
1,
we always
2,
do
3,
that same
4,
thing.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay.
It's always like that.
Okay.
All right, coming back. All right.
Thanks, Fred. Fred lost my hair.
All right, let's do this thing.
You can't tell anymore. I have lipstick that matches the color of my hair. I was Fred's. Hey, Mike. See, everyone loves each other on the Riveted. This is my favorite.
I do, because the Riveted's awesome.
It is awesome. But yeah, Jason's like, say your game and shut up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting to, but yes.
My number...
I would never say that on camera, so we don't have that proof. So, but I'll just sit here like this.
In his head, he's like, shut up and talk about the games. They want to talk.
They can talk while we're talking.
We're amazing. Number 130 is where we're going to start tonight. So 130 to 111. My 130 is a party game.
Yep, heavy cardboard all the way, Scott.
I know. Oh, I don't think I have any.
Katie has a guitar, which is cool.
Yeah. Some drums. I don't know. It's like an awkward, like, I know. 130 is a party game. They are all kind of, I think this is the last one. I think. No, there's one more.
Edgar is in.
Hey. Oh, Edgar. Hi, cute.
All right, we do have to talk about some games at some point, though.
We talked for an hour last time. It's Edgar. Oh, hi, Edgar. Oh.
Coolest cat ever.
I know. Give Edgar some chin scritches from me.
I bet he doesn't live in the basement like our cat.
We only have one cat that lives in the basement. It's because he peed on our bed. Like, I'm sorry.
You gotta draw the line somewhere.
I was doing laundry. I pet him and I brushed him today and all kinds of stuff. We talked. So 130 is a party game, and I grouped. There are a couple iterations of this game, and I grouped them all together. So this is Sushi Go, Sushi Go Party,
Sushi Roll,
and Sushi Roll. I don't think I separated them.
If so, remember, pretty okay.
I'm pretty sure I combined them all together.
We can just cover all of our sins with pretty okay.
Because for me, like, they all basically do the same thing. Or, well, for me, the thing I like about them the most is the adorable artwork. I do like the drafting in it. I think Sushi Roll is neat. Like, we have both of them because seeing the dice that are coming around on those conveyor belts adds a different kind of element to the game, which I think is cool. But I also like the regular game. Well, I like the regular game, but having Sushi Go Party I think is really nice because I like to have the variety.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that you can pick different stuff.
Yes, got Sushi Roll as boss. I agree 100%.
You separated yours, didn't you?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Sushi Roll I do like, but I love the artwork on the cards in Sushi Go Party, and so it's still cute on the dice, but you can't see it as well. And so that's why I think Sushi Go Party. Oh, see? Yeah. Oh, everyone loves Roll. I mean, I like it too.
I just like Roll because it has perfect information and I can see everything at all the time. So I don't have to remember what's in people's hands.
Oh.
So I like that. So if I know I had the wasabi or whatever and it goes around, I can still see where it is.
Yeah, which is okay, but I don't know. I've been a card player for a long time. Like, my dad taught me to play euchre when I was really young and poker and stuff. And so you have to remember and kind of, I don't count cards, but know what's been played and what's still out there. And so for me, it doesn't really matter that much. So I equally like them both. And the artwork is so cute. And I just love sushi in general. It's a way better drafting game. It's really easy to teach. People love the cute artwork that draws them in. Again, on your turn, you take a card and pass. Like, yes, eventually you're looking at strategy like, oh, and that's usually after the first round, people collect stuff. They're like, oh, okay, that's how I'm scoring points. Maybe I'm going to try to go for that. It's really easy for a lot of people to pick up, and you can find it anywhere. And so with the holidays coming up and family coming over, this, for me, is a great one to pull out. So my 130 is Sushi Go Party, Sushi Roll.
Yeah, all three are great. If you like dice, cool. If not, pick the other one. So
Mike doesn't like sushi.
I know. I'll let you address that. My number 130 is, I think, a game Katie already put on her list. It's from our boy PDB, Philip Dewberry, and it is Revolution. This is a great blind bidding, auction, really mean, backstabby area majority game that's just so much fun. I don't normally like mean games, but this one is super mean. but I enjoy it. And it's mean, like, accidentally, I guess, because you don't know what people are going to bid on. They don't know what you're going to bid on. So it just, by happenstance, gets angry and mean. So that's just how it goes. Somebody usually ends up getting mad, too, in the game.
Not like really mad.
Well, like game mad, which is fun. So my number 130, Revolution, really good. We have one of the expansions, too, that goes in the middle that makes that a player, like a place you can go, which is pretty neat, too. So,
yeah.
But you don't need it. Just, yeah, you can play with that. So 130, Revolution.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if it was in here or if it was in my top 100. Top 100. It might be in my. I think it was my top 100.
Oh yeah, you might have said it on this week's podcast.
On the podcast.
Yeah. Again, we have no idea.
I don't know. We're just rolling here.
It's somewhere in between 1 and infinity.
No, I'm only telling people up to 150, so it's between 1 and 150. Oh, how sad to have a seafood allergy.
That is sad. You're up.
So my number 129, Jason has already mentioned, and it's been in his top 150. I do know that, I think. Yes,
we'll find out.
Because I circled it when we were talking about it last time. And like I mentioned when you talked about it, that I really like it because the times I've played it, the experience has been good too. And that's Ancient Terrible Things. So this is a Mike Picorni introduction. He brought it, and Jason and I played it last year, 2 years ago.
It was at Origins.
At Origins
this year, I thought.
Last year,
yes.
This year didn't happen.
That's true. Yeah. So the last Origins, yes.
It seems like we just know Mike forever, so I'm like, it could have been Origins 10 years ago, whatever, you know. But I don't love Yahtzee, but if there's a purpose and there's like contract fulfillment with the dice, I like that. There's lots of other ways to kind of mitigate what you're doing and have some powers. And
I do love Yahtzee.
I know you do. I don't.
I really do. Even just regular Yahtzee, I love that stuff.
Dice pretty much hate me. Like, it's bad.
They hate everybody.
No. You won't play in D&D, so you don't know what happens to my character.
Okay, how about that game of Abomination that we played where you rolled nothing but eyeballs? Huh? Didn't seem like the dice hated you then, now did it?
Well, there weren't numbers on them. My mom is an ancient terrible thing. And I'm not like uber in love with Cthulhu.
I gotta like that comment because it's funny.
But I like how it's implemented in this game, and I think it's just really fun. And while it's challenging, it's not super brutal. If the dice don't work with you, it's not that big of a deal. You've got other ways to kind of mitigate things. So I like that there's all different kinds of ways to work around it. So
yeah, I agree.
129, Ancient Terrible Things.
Very good game. I think that might have been in my top. No, we might have done it on this, but it's in my 150 for sure.
It was on this, I know for sure.
All right, so my number 129 is a worker placement game.
Tim tuned in just in time for me to talk about Cthulhu.
My number 129 is a worker placement game from level 99, and it is called Argent the Consortium. So this is a worker placement game where you have wizards, or I guess they're all wizards. Might be witches, I don't know. You have spellcasters and sorcerers. You're going to different rooms in this academy, I think, which basically means you're putting your people out onto a spot, and you're trying to collect different types of I don't even remember now. Spells, books, and scrolls.
Oh yeah, that game.
To try to upgrade your spells, to earn favor with these 8 or 9 different voters that you don't know what they want from you. They might want a bunch of green spells, or I don't even know the colors, but they might want some different spells. They might want the person with the most knowledge. You're trying to figure out what they want by going to a space to flip them over and look at them, and then you can put a marker on that you looked at it. And then you're just trying to make sure that you get more votes than your opponent. So it's this long game, and you're going to end with maybe like 5 points.
Yeah, I remember that game now.
It's pretty mean too.
It is. It's also really cute when you try to talk about theme and then you just botch it up.
Whatever. It's a worker placement game where you're trying to do some stuff and some things to earn some more points and some things. There you go.
Yeah, I'd forgotten what that game too. You said it.
That's Jason explaining at the best.
I do remember I won.
You did win.
Pretty handily, but...
I think I had like 2 votes.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Because I'm good. I'm good at games.
Well, you were like winning the whole time, but then you couldn't...
That's true. The text is a little rough, Fred. It's rough.
It is hard.
Not as rough as another game that might show up later.
It'll show up way later for me because I like that game.
Yeah, it might be in my top 100. I don't know. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So my number 129, Argent the Consortium.
My 128 is something completely different. And, this is for you, Edgar. It's a game about cats. And that game is Calico. I didn't think I would like this game.
And it's about quilts, too.
Cats and quilts. Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Tracks and nobles.
Tracks and nobles. That's all you need to know.
Trading.
Tell me a game has stuff and things and tracks and nobles, and I'm in.
It's got to be gross and cheap.
Gross
also.
and cheap. Yes, that's true. Stuff and things, tracks and nobles, gross and cheap. I'm in.
Jason's in.
That's. I'll buy it blind.
That's the recipe. So Calico is my number 128. I didn't think I would like it because it's tile laying, but I don't want to say it's like an engine builder. What is that called? It's like the same thing that you do in Santa Monica, where like you're trying to like make the most bonuses happen.
Yeah,
and
you're placing tiles to try to get certain patterns to get points.
I don't know what the mechanic is.
Placing tiles to score patterns to get points.
Yes.
Stuff and things and nobles. But instead of nobles, they're cats.
And the cats are adorable. But yeah, like I was so surprised how much I liked it.
Scott's allergic to track games. Cat games.
Oh, it's so fun. Get a shot and take some Benadryl and play it. It's good.
It is good.
It is really good.
It is.
Ooh, sorry, I always kick the table. It's challenging. Like it's deceptively thinky because you've got two tiles in front of you. You play one and then you draw one. So you're kind of planning ahead. You know kind of the big overarching goals. They're like smaller, like set collection type bonuses that you can get. And there are different levels of like these cat like goals that you can get points for. Yeah, I just thought it was I really enjoyed it. Like I was surprised at how much I liked it.
It's good. It starts off like, oh man, I can do whatever I want. And then you get down to like the last like 4 or 5 turns, you're like, oh crap.
You're like,
I need this specific green tile. And it's right there. And I'm right after Brandon. And I know Brandon's going to take that tile and he doesn't even need it because he's the worst. That's usually how it goes, yes. But this is a good game.
Yes, I was surprised how much I like it. So my 128 is Calico.
All right, my number 128, I believe, was on my top 100 last year. And it's only because I haven't played it this year.
I've never played it.
And Katie's never played it. And it's called Vasco da Gama. Sorry, Scott, you love What's Your Games game. I love those two. This is a game, it's a worker placement game kind of, but you're picking these turn order icons that are going to, like, I may place my worker first, but I may take number 30 on the turn order, so it's going to activate last. So based on what you take, there may be a cost associated with it because you're fighting with the economy, and it could bone you, and you have to pay coins if you try to go too early in the turn. It's a cool game. It's got shipping. It has nobles. And I don't know if it has a track, but it definitely has a score track, so we'll say that counts. And I'd like to play it again. I just haven't played it for a while, so that's why it's fallen. I like it, just didn't play it. 128, Vasco da Gama.
Can you open the window? It's really hot in here. We're like in our back room with the door shut. There's a fan on, but you can always turn the fan on low. I always turn on high. This is where I like teach, and the heater's running. I'm burning up. Talking about games. There's so many hot takes. I just can't. My 127 is a co-op, and I don't even know if we've played the final version of it or if we just played. Ooh, we could make a trade with Scott. He wants our What's Our Game edition.
Oh, okay. I'll get back with you, Scott.
Do we have the final version of this game?
Oh, technically mine's Rio Grande, so I won't get back with
He's
you.
a liar.
Yeah, it is a What's Your Game, but mine's Rio Grande. What?
Do we just have a prototype of this? Do we have this anymore?
We turned it. We had to send it on to another person.
Okay, we don't have this game anymore, but
It's good.
I liked it. It was fun. And it's called Roll Camera. So you are playing cooperatively, and you each have like a different role in making a movie. So you've got the set designer, you've got the producer, you've got the director, editor, costumer maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A couple different roles. And what's neat is they each have a special player power that actually is really thematic. So then you're rolling these dice trying to make the movie that's kind of set out with these cards, which are different icons. Like it needs to be a funny horror or something or whatever.
Yeah, a melodramatic horror comedy or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like all these, and so you're rolling the dice to try and get those symbols to line up. You want to be able to get the set made. There's always bad stuff happening, like happens on a set. Things crash. The producer decides to have an affair with the lead's talent, and then they break up, and it's, terrible. All the stuff. A lot of different things going on. I think it's really... I like the theme. Well, I've seen movie themes done terribly. I'm looking at you, Hollywood Blockbuster.
What?
Don't even point at it.
Glorious,
it's
right there. Look at that.
Blech. That game sucks. But so this one actually did it well, and it was fun. I didn't mind the cooperative aspect of it because I feel like you really didn't quarterback. You're just trying to go with what you have and see what's out there.
Yeah, it's not super difficult either, which
right.
I kind of liked. You can actually feel like you're not underwater the whole time.
Yeah, you're like, we're actually making some headway here. We actually might get this movie. Oh, it's great. So that's what I really liked it. So that is my 127 roll camera. I'd like to actually own this
They're
game.
supposed to be sending us a copy, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
That doesn't always happen.
People tell us that all the time. I'll send you a copy of that.
All right, 127 for me is a game from Simon. That's right, Tim. It's got minis.
Ooh, this is on my list too.
And this game is called Victorian Masterminds. So it has minis, but they're really like you take a mini
Place markers.
and you score 2 points for it or something. But it does look amazing on the table.
Yeah.
The minis are nice. It looks cool. This is essentially you're taking these little cogs out. You're going to a location. You're putting your cog face down. It's a worker that has a power. Once a certain location gets a certain amount of people, depending on the number of players, you'll flip them, and you're trying to get ammunition to fight off the Secret Service. You're trying to get bolts and metal to build your doomsday device. You're trying to recruit scientists, and you're trying to snatch up buildings, or like I like to say, smash the buildings, which means if your weapon is higher than the Secret Service, you can take the building, put it in front of you. That's all it means. But it looks really cool. The theme is awesome. I love the theme. I just killed the theme, but it's a great theme. And I like it. So my number 127, Victorian Masterminds. And it's Eric M. Lang, but also Antoine Bauza. So he's bringing it down
right.
to the level that I like.
He's pulling it back from the Virgin Romero trash back into like come.
He brings it back to the light Euro.
Yeah, I love the artwork on this too. It does have that really cool Victorian like steampunk look to it with like your doomsday devices and stuff. And I believe this will be featured on the podcast from me.
Oh, nice.
It's much higher.
Yeah, I like it. Again, 127 is pretty high.
Yeah.
From 500.
It's a really good game. I don't like it as well at 2.
That's true. 3 or more is definitely better. 5 or however many it plays is the best.
And it actually is not, I mean, it's pretty quick because on your turn, you're playing a gear.
You play a gear,
and
that's it.
Either that's it or you're firing off the location. And when you fire off the location, everyone who's there is doing something. So then you've got multiplayer interaction. So I think it really helps cut down on the time.
It's probably 45 minutes no matter how many people you play with.
Yeah, it's not a very long game.
It's super fast.
It's good. I also win this one.
You do. I'm terrible.
Very frequently.
But I have fun building my machine, so who cares?
Do you ever get your machine built?
I've built it
I
once.
almost always do.
I've triggered the end of the game once. I think I've won once. But I don't care. It's fun.
My 126 is, I believe, the last party game I'm going to speak about in this.
I'll tune back in when you're done.
50. And Jason hates this game. And it is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
I don't hate this game. I'd rather play it than Monikers, which I've never played. But
I really love this game. And I don't know. Either some people just can't get it. Like, the problem with this game is, and it would be higher if, and it used to be higher in my top 100, but then sometimes I've played with some party poopers. Who
I don't poop on the party.
That's
I
true.
do not poop
it
on,
was not
on the
you.
party. I will play the party games and I will suck it up. I will not poop on the party.
I've had some people poop on the party and make it terrible. I'm like, come on.
I was gonna say, I think Tim loves Deception.
This game is really fun. I'm always like the
investigator or whatever it is, forensic scientist.
Forensic scientist. I really like that role where you're kind of the moderator. And usually I do that anyway the first time because people don't know. But I have turned it over to other people, and then I always end up being the murderer.
I actually don't like that as much.
I like
honestly,
that.
it's fun, but I think part of the fun of that game is like just accusing people for no reason. You know nothing at the beginning of the game, and you start throwing out accusations.
I'm not sure how you're playing the game, Fred, but when I play it, it's a deduction game. I'm not trying to seduce anyone, but I don't know what your game group is like.
Whoa.
I know, no. Through murder. It's got some weird... This is a family show, Fred. I'm not talking about some weird kinky stuff with your...
That's funny.
True crimes. But this game is great where you've got the evidence shot and the pieces that are left behind.
Oh, man.
And then the forensic scientist knows.
Gaming after dark.
Clearly.
Sometimes you got to get your social seduction in. I mean, slutty clowns, slutty maids, whatever you got to do.
Stop. Oh my gosh. Why did you have to bring up the slutty clowns again?
Mike brought it up on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Oh.
He watched it. He said that he loves slutty clowns or something. I don't remember what it was. Probably not that.
I don't think you said that. Please defend yourself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so no one go play it with Fred. But when I play it...
Just biggest enema.
I love it. Awkward banter. That's what we're here for, everybody.
We should just record this and set it out for the podcast.
Like, forget it. We're not doing podcasts this week. Yeah, it's really fun. I do like the forensic. I don't know if it's because I like control. I like knowing all the stuff, and I always want to say things, but I don't get to say things.
Honestly, we do need to play it again because we have the expansion that we never played.
Yes, and I like to. When we played at Bigger Player Pounds, Jason likes that because then you've got those additional...
It's more than just a murderer.
Yeah, you've got extra roles. There's accomplices and witnesses and all these things happening.
Tim's phone's teamed up.
It wasn't about Cthulhu or minis or anything, so don't worry about it.
That's true. So, it was Deception, though. You do like that.
That's right. My 126 is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
All right, so going back from the risque stuff, I'm going to bring this back down.
I was the one who made it risque.
We're going to bring this back to the family show, Fred.
It's a PG rating,
so
Fred.
my number 126 is a card game based off of the band The Decemberists, which I've heard a couple songs. I don't know a ton. I don't really care because it's not my jam. But the game is called Illimat. It's a weird... I don't know, trick-taking game, kind of.
Yeah.
You're planting cards in fields. You're harvesting cards from fields. You're trying to earn the favors of these, I forget what they're called. Luminaries, which are the cards in the corner that are going to give you special powers, are going to be worth points. And you're just basically trying to be the first person to get to 17 points. It's odd. There's a video on our channel if you want to go check it out because it's super strange. But if you like card games, you kind of like euchre trick-taking, or just, card games in general, check this one out. It's super good. It's really fun. It plays pretty quickly. Has a really cool look to it, kind of like a mystical, weird look. I don't know. Go look at the video. You can see it. It's really cool, really fun, and I like it. So my 126, Illimat.
Yeah, I feel like this is somewhere else. I don't know where. But I probably talked to it because I like this. I randomly played it when I was at.
Oh yeah, that is what you said. You're right.
I was at Worlds for Star Wars Destiny, and one of the people I was there with brought it, and we just happened to play it, and I had known nothing about it. I'm like, this is pretty fun. It's not like euchre, but
it has similar feels
like that because you've got suits, and there are certain cards that are kind of trump in a way.
Yeah, you use the box as the board. If you play like face cards, it turns different seasons and makes certain fields do different things. It's really cool. It's weird. I've never played a game like it before. It's really cool.
Yeah, and that's why I think I like it. It has like almost like a tarot look, which I'm not. I mean, I'm not going to offend anyone. There's no like pentagrams or anything.
Right.
On it,
yeah.
but
it's just weird art.
It is weird, but it's really fun, and yeah, it is unlike anything else I've ever played. So yeah, definitely check that one out. That's good. Good choice, babe. My 125, I've only played a couple of times. Thankfully, I played it more than once because the first time I was like, I'm getting nowhere in this game and I never want to play it again. But the second time I'm like, okay, I'm sort of getting it. I'm still getting nowhere, but I feel better about it. And that's Heaven and Ale.
So low.
Yours is way higher?
I'm pretty sure it's in my top 100.
I've only played it like twice, maybe.
I played it with Brandon a lot.
Okay, so I've only played it twice. The second time, I'm like, oh, I'm actually doing things. The first time, I'm like, what the frick? What? I've moved one on this. I don't know. I ended with maybe a point. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. It was awful. And I'm like, don't make me play this again. So we played it again. And I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here. I actually feel like I can contribute to this game.
Got to move your brewmaster.
Right. So I don't know if I even... I would like to play it even more. So really, I feel like this is fairly high for 2 plays when the first play was woof.
That's true.
I like the artwork.
You can kind of see it on the playthrough.
Yeah,
it's right there.
Right, peeking out the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eggert Spiel. I do like it. It is thinky and just interesting stuff going on. And I would really like to play it again. So I thought it was really good. That's Heaven and Ale. I didn't really describe it, I guess, but...
It's a tile placement game where you're trying to brew beer. You're collecting different ingredients and getting some monks and...
I don't know. I never felt like I'm trying to brew beer in that. I'm like...
That's the theme. Really, you're placing tiles on the dark and the light side. Dark side gives you money. Light side gives you resources. And you're trying to make your brewmeister...
Go around
get past 0 or you don't get any points.
Well, isn't there... Like,
if your brewmaster doesn't get up to the top, you get no points.
Yeah, but isn't this the one where you go around and you get stuff at the bottom? Like, as you... Am I thinking of a different game?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either.
So Katie's thinking of a different game.
So maybe Heaven and Ale is my 125.
My 125 is a game from Andreas Stedding, the designer of Gugong and I believe Hansa Teutonica. And this one's called the Stouffer Dynasty. I've only played this a couple times.
I've never played this.
So it might be higher if I played it more. But this is an area control game, kind of, where in order to control an area, you have to move people around a rondel. So for every movement that you spend, you're going to be putting a person on a space around the rondel to get them where you need to go. So you're trying to balance, how far away from the king you're trying to get, how many people do I want to spend to get over this area to score a pile of points. It's basically a rondel game in a really interesting way. Terrible description. I get that. All my descriptions are terrible. But 125, if you like any of those other games that I mentioned, Hansa, Teutonica, and Gugong, check this one out. It may be hard to find. I have no idea. But I like it. So, Stouffer Dynasty 125. Or Staufer. I don't know how to say it.
I never played this one. I don't think.
Yeah, I've only played it at 2 as well. So, it needs to be played with more people. 2 is not great.
Okay. My number 124 is Xi'an. And I don't know who makes it. I don't know who designs it. I don't know anything about it that way. Except that it's a game where you're trying to paint your terracotta warriors. And I think that you have miniature. I mean, really.
Yeah, they're little miniature
terracotta warriors. And I don't know if I like this game this much because... I've been to Xi'an.
It's the theme.
And I've seen the terracotta warriors and the ground is really cool. And so there's that nostalgia when I'm playing it. But I also think it's a fun game. And the different colors give you different points.
The terracotta warriors start out as brown.
Right.
And you're trying to paint them in your player color.
Oh, in my player color.
Which isn't really a thematic. But
no,
you're basically turning them from brown to neon green
purple.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you can get them in adjacent to each other in certain quadrants of the board, you're going to get a bunch of points. So that's how you get points from those. There's other ways, but that's how you get points from
there's other stuff that's happening as well, but the big warriors that are sitting out there and they were mine were this weird lavender lilac-y color, but yeah, it got minis. And I like it. I think it's a different theme too.
Yeah, it has some cool card play too, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
124 is Xi'an.
My number 124 is from Days of Wonder, and it is a game that a lot of people hate from Days of Wonder, but I think is great and amazing, and it is called Cargo Noir. So this is an auction-y game where you're going to different locations on the board with your boats and a stack of cash, and you're trying to bid to get these different tiles from this section, and you're kind of doing a set collection thing. You're either trying to get all the same kind of tiles, or all different tiles to get a bunch of money to buy these cards that are essentially points. So you're going to spaces, collecting tiles, selling the tiles to buy a business or a boat or a yacht or something to get points at the end of the game. That's it. I really like it. It's a really slow auction. You're literally, on one round, you're going to go out, you're going to bid on something or win something. And then you're going to do that 10 times. It has really nice little boat pieces. The money is big plastic coins. Really cool. So my 124 Cargo Noir.
I think that's just outside my 150. I I like it, but it can be so frustrating to me.
It is the big. You can spend 4 rounds trying to get some tiles that
because almost like the bidding is like area control. Like they feel the same, and I hate area control. Yeah, I don't like it.
You could go there somewhere with 5 coins. You think, oh, no one's going to outbid me. And here comes Brandon.
I was going to say, and
6
then Brandon. We need to quit playing this game with him. Because I'm like, this game sucks.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
It's a good game, though. If you can find it, you can find it cheap. If you like
like
that,
we got it really cheap.
Go check it out.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. My number 123 is a game that I just talked about getting expansions last week on the podcast. And that is Fantastic Factories. So this card-based game, you are getting machines to put in your factory that do different things, but you ultimately want to be able to create goods, because once you get 10 goods, 20, 15 goods?
Yeah, a certain amount of goods.
Then that you win. So you're converting like energy.
Well, technically you don't. You might not win.
That's true.
You'll end the game. You may not have the most points, but you'll end the game.
So there's energy happening, and there's metal and different things that you're using to make more parts of the factory, and then ultimately create your goods. And you're rolling dice too, so there's a nice, like, several different kinds of components to it. And I'm excited for the expansion too, so I do like it. The first time I played it, I'm like, what the frick is happening? Like, I don't know. I just could not, my brain did not work. Because, I don't know, I didn't see it as an engine builder. The second time, I'm like, I totally got this.
You build a card and hopefully build this card to go with that card. Yeah. Or you can just randomly build cards like I do, and hopefully it pans out. It's worked once.
The second time I built more strategically and beat the pants off everybody. And I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. Yep. So that is my 123 Fantastic Factories.
It's a good one. No idea where it is on mine.
I don't know.
123 for me is a game from Ravensburger.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a game about building a really fancy, like, garden, I guess.
Yeah, it's a garden.
And it's called Sanssouci. I don't know if I say that right.
Sure.
But that's what it looks like. Hey, how about that? And this is a really interesting game. You're going to have some cards in your hand. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be playing a card down to draft a certain type of tile. It's going to have some kind of like archway, fountain, some stairs, something.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is you're putting this on your little player board to move these little guys you have at the bottom of the board up to the top. That's all you're trying to do. Yeah. The farther you can get your guys up the track, the more points you're going to get. And then you're also going to have a special card that's going to focus on one different type, one of those types, and you want to get that guy up to the top for sure because you're going to get extra points. So it's super fast, it's super easy, but it's really fun. And actually that moving the guy up is a lot harder than it sounds. So my number 123, Sanssouci.
Yes, I like that
a little. And it does have nobles, that is correct. They may not be nobles, but there is nobles mentioned in the rule book. So we'll take it.
I like that a little bit better than Jason. We will revisit. My 122 in the meantime, Jason already talked about, and that is Black Fleet. Again, we talked about this before on the podcast. I love the artwork in it. I love the tactile boats that you can actually put the cargo in, the metal coins that come with it. We got it like dirt cheap, which is always a selling point for us. It's
not gross though, is it?
It's not gross. It's really cute.
Did you say what it was?
Yes, I said it was Black Fleet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was clicking some stuff.
You're not paying attention to me.
It doesn't look gross, though. It doesn't.
I just said that. It's not gross. I love the artwork.
I was going to repeat everything Katie says because I'm not paying attention because I'm clicking on things.
Is this your good ear, Mabel? Can you hear me?
No.
Hey. It's very easy to teach. Yes, it's sort of, you like do attack other people, but once you're attacked, you come right back onto the board. And sometimes that's even what you want. So it's fun, easy, light. I love a good pirate game. So that's my 122, Black Fleet.
It is a good game. I think I might have already talked about that.
You did.
On somewhere.
You did on here. I circled it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's how I know.
You're way better at this than me. All right.
I am.
I know the publisher and the designers, but you remember everything else.
There's a dice game? Oh.
What did I miss? Nothing. There was talk of...
Fred seducing people, playing Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Seduction.
Jason doesn't listen to me. Yeah. Slutty clowns were mentioned. We moved on.
All right. So my number 122 is going to make Picorni happy. And this is Raiders of the North Sea. I'm showing it some love. I'm showing it more love than Katie did.
I understand.
Probably because I played it more than her. And this is a game. Yeah, I played it with Brandon like 2 or 3 times.
I played it.
I play a lot of games with Brandon.
I know you do. You don't ever play with me, but
Raiders of the North Sea is a worker placement game, but unlike a lot of them, on this one you're going to put a worker down, take the action, and then you're going to pick a worker up and take that action, or vice versa. Maybe you only do one or the other, but either way, you
do one of each.
Okay, so you put one down.
Yeah, you played it way more than me.
And then you're going to just go pillage some areas and try to just get more points than everybody else. Again, terrible description, I understand. You're going to have a crew of people on your boat that are going to help you when you're battling to pillage some of the areas and all that stuff. Collect cattle, gold, Valkyrie, stuff like that. There is a Valkyrie track, which is cool, so it does have some tracks. And it has a military track, and it has a score track, which is all cool. So, I really like this game. I clearly don't know how to play it anymore because it's been a while, but my 122, Raiders of the North Sea. Worker placement game. I do know that, okay?
That's true.
There's workers and there's placements and there's tracks. What do you want from me?
Raiders does have several tracks. I like this game. I already talked about it.
Katie's face while you described games.
Try.
It's not just when I describe games. It's a lot of the time in my life.
I'll work on it. I'll do better when you describe your next game. So
no, you won't. Don't even.
My 121 was just recently mentioned, and that's Sanssouci. I also really like this game. It's easy and simple and relaxing, but you're trying to move those nobles down to the end of the garden. The tiles are getting flipped over, and you're like, do I need this tile? Do I need that tile? Do I need the labyrinth maze? Do I need like the tall archways? Do I need another fountain? Is it the right color? Can I get my guy over?
All this talking about this makes me want to play it right now. It's really good.
I always want to play it. And we've played it quite a bit, and it's a nice, light, family weight game, filler even really, because it does go very quickly. We played it with somebody that didn't like it because they're like, oh, none of his tiles came out. And
it was probably Brandon.
No, I think it was Joel.
Oh, yeah, that might be right.
Who didn't like that it was so much up to chance what tiles you flipped. And like, that's part of the game.
OJ Raptor K, I think is his name.
He did not like this game. But that's fine. Yes, it's random. It's called deal with it. That's part of the strategy of the game. Can you make the most of what you're getting?
I love fixing randomness, dealing with it. I love that.
That's why you're married to me. You love random.
I mean, in games, a lot too.
And life. So that's my 121, which was Jason's 123, Sanssouci.
It's a good one.
It is.
My number 121. Please don't do that. Just give me the normal face. I'm used to that one. Stop.
That's the normal face I give you.
My number 121 is going to make Scott
the
happy.
The advanced board modifiers. I don't know. Do I know what that is?
Yes, that's you can put little. I don't think we've ever played with it, honestly.
Oh.
You can take these little. There's this little triangle thing, and you can cover up portions of your board to make it different. So all the spaces, everybody's board is not the same.
Huh.
Or it's. I don't think they're all the same anyway, but it just makes them even trickier. Like
they're
you can't
not
put
the same
gardeners
anyway,
some places. It has we've never done it, but it is in there.
Oh.
So my number 121 is not the Leather Man. I don't know what that is.
No, that's Joel.
Oh, the Leather Man. Oh yeah. See, I'm awful. Asgard is my 121.
Pretty.
This is a game where you're trying to be Vikings and fight off Ragnarok. But really, ultimately, what you're doing is you're voting on which side of a battle you think you're going to win during Ragnarok. So you're trying to set up all these battles on Yggdrasil and then kind of put your backing on each battle, either for good or evil. Doesn't matter. You can play both sides. You're just trying to win these battles and get points. And you're doing that through simultaneous card action selection. So I might play Loki, Hela, and Thor because I have 3 workers. But you might also play those and go to the same places. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to do and not do also what you're going to do to get the workers that I need. So it's really cool. It's a beast.
I watched Rada run through this. Now that I've never played it.
So hard to explain. Like the Ragnarok has like 5 pages in the rule book. It is insane, but it's good. So my 121 Asgard.
You just did a lot of Norse mythology talk in there. I was really proud of you.
I did. I know some stuff, but it doesn't have tracks as much. So I couldn't say you go to the spot and you do the thing.
You go to the spot and you play the card.
Yeah, it's a little deeper than that. That's why I couldn't explain it that way.
It is. My 120 is a game that I finally got right, and it's called Cena's Workshop. So a very seasonal game. It's actually one of the good Christmas-themed games out there because it really is worker placement. You're going to these different places
and doing the thing.
To do the things to help Santa in the workshop. What's your game, isn't it? Of course you got Asgard.
Yeah, Asgard is what's your game, yes.
Yeah. I bought it twice for Jason on accident.
It happens.
It's a whole other story. So Santa's Workshop, you're feeding the reindeer, you can gift wrap toys, I think, and make toys. I really want to get out and play it again. We've kind of left it for Christmas because I do kind of have a moratorium on when Christmas things can be brought out.
But you can play this all the time. You could
pretend it's a different theme, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But it's actually a really good game because I've played some really not good Christmas themed games. I will not mention them here. I may have been featured on a video and a Kickstarter for one of said games, but I feel like I was honest that it was
so good.
Not for me.
Such a good game.
I don't think I said that.
You didn't say that. I would have not said it.
I would never say that.
I would have just said, here's what you do in the game. This is going to be for these people because I make my videos nice.
Yeah. But Santa's Workshop, definitely, and I think as our kids get older, this will be one that'll be really fun to play with them. Definitely a really great family game and not super complicated, but still there's enough happening that it really is fun. So my 120 is Santa's Workshop. Give me back my pen.
That's a good one. My 120 is a game from Queen, and it is an area controlled war game. War game. Has a cube tower, and it's Shogun Big Box, or just Shogun, whatever. I have the Big Box. So this is a game where you're trying to control different areas on the map to score the most points by the end of the game. You're going to be taxing different territories. You're going to be starving them for food, which is awful. You're going to be battling other people to take over their area. So it's kind of like a Euro-y version of Risk. It feels like that to me. But the thing that I like better about it is, one, the cube tower, and two, you have to plan out all 8 of your actions. I think there's 8 on your board before you start. So I have this territory and I want to have this territory attack somebody else. But by the time it gets to me to be able to do that, that person may have already been attacked and I no longer have control of that area. So my card is gone. So I'm losing an action. So you're thinking, you're trying to figure out, what can I do without wasting a bunch of turns? Should I just tax and leave people alone? But if I tax, it starts an uprising and the farmers revolt and it's bad. So yeah, it's a really fun game. I've only played it once, so it may actually be higher if I played it more, but it needs 3 and it's kind of long for me. So I don't play it that much. So 120 is Shogun.
I've never played this game. When you said area control and war game, I'm out. Even though it's Asian themed, I love that.
It's basically an area control game.
I don't love that.
It's disguised like a war game. It feels like Risk.
Ew.
But way better than Risk.
No. My 119 is super light game, and one of it, like the early games in our collection. But again, when I make my list, I always think, what games do I want to play? Do I enjoy playing that we have a good time with? And 119 is definitely one of those games, and that's King of New York. I do not like King of Tokyo because I don't think there's enough things going on. It's just battle. So that's why I like King of New York better.
We're probably in the minority.
We probably are, and I don't care. We played King of New York with all kinds of people, and it's really goes over well.
Except for Brandon.
Yeah, it's because he stinks at it.
And we can badmouth him again on Facebook because he doesn't have Facebook.
I'll tell him, though. I'll tell him to his face. You're terrible at this game. That's why I like to play it, because you stink. I always play with the standees and make them fight, and you know how I do. But it's Yahtzee style. However, again, for me, what I like about a game is if I can have a different path to victory. So I often just stay out of New York and try to go like the star routes or get cards that can really help me take down people or boost up my stars that I'm getting. Like I like that about it. I always am Kong.
I think I'm that stupid guy with the
Because he has hearts in his
fishbowl head.
You are always the
Then when somebody else
guy.
wants that, I get irritated. But I let them have it because I'm not a savage. I do make a comment, but then I move on. It's fine.
Yes. So it is fun. It's my number 119, King of New York.
Snort. My number 119 is a 2-player only game. And it is a game of pick up and deliver tile exploration. It's called Akrotiri.
Yeah.
So in this game, you are building an island with these tiles. Or building I don't know if it's an island, but you're building an area.
There are many islands
with,
actually in there.
With these tiles. And what you're trying to do is you are going to different islands to pick up goods to sell them for money. And then what you're also trying to do is you're trying to get certain symbols on these tiles to be in a certain directional format, like directional layout, so you can discover a temple on one of the islands in that area. That's the hardest part of the game, is trying to figure out how those symbols work.
Is it up? Am I over here? Did I line up everything right?
Really, outside of that, it's just pick up and deliver, trying to get more of your temples out than everybody else. And it's a really fun back and forth. It's pretty thinky for what it is, and I really like it. So my 119, Akrotiri.
Yeah. I don't know if that's on my top 150, but I do like that game. It's pretty fun. It's a different type of 2-player. Yes, you should, Fred. You need to find someone to play Akrotiri with, because
really good.
It's good. It's like I feel like it's the next level of 2 players, because a lot of times 2 players are a lot lighter, a little more family weight.
Yeah, it's a heavier game.
This one's a little bit
not
heavier.
heavy, but it's heavier,
and it's different than a lot of games that I played, so I really like it. I don't know where it is on mine. My 119 is a very light game, and it's an IP that everyone loves. And again, I like this game because we have good experiences with it, and I can play it with anybody. And that is Bob Ross, The Art of Chill. I mean, just the box. We bought it for Kim in the Riveted. I don't know where he is. He's up. I thought he was.
I'll find him. You just keep talking.
We bought the game for Kim for her birthday, and we just had it sitting in a chair at the restaurant where we had lunch. And he was just like, Bob was just like sitting in this chair the whole time while we ate lunch. And I thought, that game's probably really dumb, but look.
It does look really dumb. Like, honestly, it looks like it's going to be a terrible game.
But it's a really good game. Like, yes, it's not, super difficult. Maybe they can't see Bob. It's not overly difficult by any means. No.
Here, I'll do this. You don't need to see my face.
But it's fun, and there's enough going on that, as a seasoned gamer, I still am involved. I like it. There's a little bit of chance with like rolling the Bob die, flipping the cards, seeing if Bob's going to keep chilling or if he's going to paint further. So it works. And you can introduce pretty much anyone to the board game through it. I worked with a lady who had nothing about board games, and she borrowed it. She's like, "Oh, my kids are coming over. They're like 20s. We want to play a game." And so I'm like, "Oh, hey, why don't you borrow this game?" She's like, "Oh my gosh, my kids loved it. Where can I buy it?" Then the next thing you know, she wants to play viticulture because she loves wine. And I'm like, "Okay."
Did they end up buying that?
Yeah, and read the rules and watched the videos and played it. I was like, that's a huge step, Janet. Yeah. Like, it was crazy. She went from Bob Ross to viticulture.
That's a pretty big leap. I wouldn't recommend that.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
But Bob is the gateway. So
the gateway drug of Bob Ross.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult or anything. Like,
You're collecting cards and playing cards.
But it's a good time. 118, Bob Ross, Art of Chill.
That is a good one. It's stupid fun.
It is.
My 118 is a Terra Mystica-like game. And a lot like it, actually. Oh. And it's called Clans of Caledonia. This is a game where you're building farms out on the board, you're making milk, selling milk, and you're trying to also have a symbiotic relationship with your opponents, so you want to build close to them, because if you build close to them, you get discounts on goods. So you're kind of putting stuff out on the board, building your
Is that symbiotic because do they benefit from you building close to them?
I believe so. I think it's mutual for everybody. I've only played it one time, so I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But I believe so. And you're going to get points for however many workers you can get on your board. It's going to increase your income. You're just trying to get different types of contracts fulfilled. And you have a player power, which is cool. I like it. Again, terrible explanation. Only played it once. That's what I remember. And that's 118 Clans of Caledonia.
I've never played this. I've also never played Terra Mystica. I
like Terra Mystica better.
Terra Mystica. We don't have Clans of Caledonia. I like the theme, I feel. I don't know.
The theme of this one is farming. The theme of Terra Mystica is something. I don't know what that is, and I don't care. The board's hideous. It looks
Not
terrible.
in the top 100, no. I've never played it, so I don't know about it.
What? Terra Mystica? Yeah, Katie hasn't played it. It may show. It's going to show up for me probably on the podcast, so yes.
I would like to play it. We keep talking about me playing it. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I think you would like it.
I need to brush up on it again because it's got a lot of rules. And it's a beast to teach. Like, I taught Brandon, and it was like 45 minutes. I was like, whoa. So, I got to brush up on it again.
Okay. My 117 is a game with minis. And the minis that I like to play with have the biggest hats. And so they are... I know. I was like, please, you like this game. My 117 is Dogs of War. This game is dumb, but really fun.
Yeah, Tim needs to play this game. If he hasn't played this game, he would love it. His gaming group would love it.
It's basically miniatures doing a tug of war. So there's a lot of like wheeling, dealing, player interaction, spiting each other.
You can jump sides of the war just to be a jerk.
Yes, it can get mean.
It's super.
I'm still carrying grudges from this game for years. But it's so fun. Like, you've got your own little miniatures or your crazy character. Mine is a lady. She's pink and she has this humongous hat.
Yeah, and she means hers. No one else ever gets to play with this lady.
Oh no!
And her special power is awesome. So she has this character that's ridiculous on the board, but it has an awesome player power.
Yeah, it overshadows the other miniatures, and like that's kind of what she does. She counts as two, like in the right in the tie there. So that was fun. That's how my ex described me. Fred. At least you're fun.
At least you're fun.
That's step in the right direction. You can always carry them. It is really fun. It's a good game. I'm surprised I like it because in a way it's kind of like area control because you're swaying like the side to you.
Yeah, I mean it sort of is.
Sort of, but the player interaction.
You're working with other people for the area control.
Is what really like ups it. So I like it. That's 117 Dogs of War.
If we could play this at 2, this would be a great live video. But it needs to have more people.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think you're able to play it with 2. I think you need to have 3. But
it's better at like 4 and 5.
5 players is awesome because then it's just like
it's crazy. Nasty. All that people jumping in, alliances being made.
I don't like mean games, but this one is fun. It's really fun. My 117 is actually a game I've only ever played half of. That's how much that this like put a mark on me. We played a half of a game at Origins, and it was intense. And this is Freedom the Underground Railroad, which we have that copy coming now. Found a copy for super cheap, but not super cheap, but cheaper.
Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And we'll be playing this more. This is a cooperative game where you're trying to get slaves out of America into Canada, trying to avoid slave catchers. You don't want the slaves. They get captured, but really, I think they get killed. So it's terrible.
You're layering that kind of horrible thing on it.
It's terrible. Yeah, it feels awful when a cube gets lost. It's terrible. Like you're moving this cube around. Oh crap!
Because they are just cubes, but you're like,
terrible.
Oh my gosh, these people are going to freedom, and you want them to succeed.
Yeah, it's such a good game. It's super like heavy theme. The gameplay is not really that heavy, but it's a heavy theme. There's some cool card play too.
You have a player power too. Yeah.
It's a really cool game. It's super thematic for what it is, and it is probably not one we're going to play a lot because it's just gets in your head. But my 117, Freedom the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, I don't know if and where this is on my list, but it's good. Oh, I lost us. There we are.
You found us.
Yes, it is. You do get emotionally invested because you're like, I can't just lightly play a game about helping people escape to freedom. Like, it's not, and you got these slave catchers moving back and forth. Like, they have this established pattern. You're like, okay, who can I help get out of the way of this slave catcher?
And you're going to have to lose some. That's the way the game works.
Yes.
Some are going to have to get lost for the betterment of everybody else, which is terrible. But
and then you've got new ones, like new slaves coming off the boat into
the
like plantations in the south. Like, oof.
It's a deep game.
It is, but like the gameplay is really interesting. How you're moving things, how like the automated pieces of it move. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's a good choice.
It definitely won't be played as much as Black Orchestra, probably, because I don't feel it doesn't.
I'm excited about killing Hitler.
It doesn't tug on my heartstrings as much, but yeah, it's still good.
It's a good game. My 116 has a macabre theme, but it's really lighthearted and silly, and that is Bring Out Yer Dead.
Oh, it's so good.
And it's like game by Upper Deck. Hey, I know publisher.
Good job.
I can't remember who the designer.
I don't think it's some randos.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a game. There is an area control element to it, which I don't like. But the theme, and there's also set collection happening that are really fun. You've got these coffins of your dead relatives, and you're doing simultaneous action selection, sort of. I mean, it's all the same action, but
you can get different ones. You can vary it a little bit by getting some cards.
So everyone's playing like 3 cards at one time, and you're trying to see, okay, how many people do I think are going to put coffins on this cart? Because the cart only has a certain amount of room. If I don't get my coffin on the cart,
kind of push your luck a little bit.
It is. If I say I'm going to play one, it's going to go down the river. That's negative points for me, unless I can somehow try to mitigate that, which there are ways to do that, but they're few and far between. So I like that there are cards in that can allow you to switch things up, move stuff around, kind of tinker with the area control piece of it.
Yeah.
The theme is just funny and weird, and we've had lots
Monty
of people.
Python-ish.
Yeah, you can't help but quote Monty Python every time you play it. We've played this with a lot of people because it's just such a quirky theme that they think it's really fun and funny. So that's my 116. Bring Out Yer Dead.
We play a lot of games with people at our church, which is interesting, and we bring out some like funky games sometimes, like Secret Hitler. This one about throwing your dead relatives in the river. And
They're
stuff.
totally into it,
and it's just fun because it's just a game. Like we don't, we're not trying to like
summon the devil or anything.
Just playing a game and having fun. It's silly. So, but this game, if you can find it and you think you want a cool action selection game, this is very fun.
Yeah,
the rule book's kind of garbagey, but once you can figure out how to play the game, it's super fun.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So my number 116 is a game called Burano or Burano. I'm not sure how you say it. And I'm going to try to describe this game because it's weird. So everybody has this little tower of cubes on their player board.
I've never played this one.
It's like the Minecraft thing.
Okay.
So you have a tower of cubes, and you're going to be removing cubes and putting them on your player board, and those are the actions you can take.
Okay.
So you're trying to but before that, you're going to draft cubes that you want to take, and then you're going to stack them up. So you're kind of drafting cubes and programming your actions on how you want them to happen, which is hard.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be terrible at
You're
this.
taking the cubes, and then you're trying to go around, catch fish. You're moving around this island to do some things. I've only played this one once, too, because it's pretty beastie. What else are you trying to do? You're building buildings out on the city of Burano with the different color cubes, and you're trying to build rooftops on the top to score points. It's a really cool game. It's interesting. It's really fun, but it's hard to teach. And that programming tower thing can get some serious AP. So I like it. It'd probably be higher if I played it more, but I don't know how often I'm going to play it. So 116 Burano.
I like the colors of the artwork on this. Like that's all I remember about it because I've never played it.
Pastel colors, yellow, white, pink.
Yeah, it seems
really
pretty,
cool.
But I haven't played it.
It's a good game. I think you would like it. Especially since you like that Minecraft thing. It's the
know,
same
that
kind
was
of deal.
fun.
Yeah.
It's on my list of unplayed. Scott, I don't get a shelf. Jason will rearrange the shelf.
It's on the whiteboard.
We have a whiteboard
that you guys can't see, and we crossed one off.
We did.
Amerigo has been crossed off.
Yes, it may come back.
So now we have only like 50 more to go.
We do.
That's actually not a lot, though. Really. I need to add deadline onto that too.
For as many games as we have. Is Gumshoe on there? But you're never going to play Gumshoe or Deadline.
It's you and me, though, not just me. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
My 115 is a 2-player
Let's see the whiteboard.
game. Okay. Let me turn it.
No, don't. I'll show you the whiteboard after this. I'll post some pictures.
We can just, at the end, we'll pan over. It's just like right over there.
All right. But yeah, okay. So when we're done here, I'll get up and move the camera.
You won't be able to read it because Jason's handwriting.
My handwriting is awful.
Is awful on there. I'm looking at it. I was like, I don't see this game. I'm
I
like,
see what they say.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to be.
Makes perfect sense to me.
There are some in there. I'm like, it looks like gibberish to me. I'm like, what?
Looks like doctor speak.
I know. I'm like, oil. What game is oil?
It's 011, 011.
Well, do you know how long I stared at that to try to figure out that's what that meant?
Well, I'm the one who.
Also, Snowdonia looks like I don't I don't know.
I'll send you guys pictures. I'll show you, and then you guys can judge for yourself.
Kingsport is what I don't.
Gumshoe is on there. Could you just do your next game and stop looking at my writing?
My 115 is a 2-player only game, and again,
Kim's Obi. What are you talking about?
it's next to
King's Abbey.
Oh,
That's exactly what that says.
that may be what that says. That's not what it looks like. It says.
Scott can't read his own writing.
Jason.
Oil the dice game. Yes, that's exactly right, Fred. Oil the dice game is what oil is.
Well, then I thought it was that King's Oil game that you've played, but I'm like, we don't own that. So
No, I don't put those games on there.
Thank you. I wouldn't know because I can't read that. So 115 is Caper.
This is so low.
Because it's a 2-player
it's
only
not
game.
that much higher on
Yeah,
mine,
so shut your mouth. Don't judge me. It's the artwork is amazing. Keymaster. I'm always so proud when I remember a company.
Kim's OB sounds like a doctor's appointment.
Fred, that's strike 2. You better watch yourself.
Back to Caper.
Keymaster has done some really great games. The artwork is so pretty. I think the way you play it is really neat. It's got like player instructions. They've like disguised as like a magazine to order like parts for your crooks to use. Like it's just
so
really
good.
fun. I don't know if I've ever won this game. I stink at this game, but still trying to figure it out and play it and the look of it. It's a really good 2-player game.
2-player drafting game, which doesn't happen very well, or usually.
Yes, and I would like to take credit that I made us buy this.
You did.
I was like, we have got to get this game. Look at this game. It was really great. And yes, it probably would be higher if I felt better about 2-player only experiences. I mean, I play games with Jason, just the two of us, a lot. But I do love like the more people playing, the merrier, because that's just me. So 115 is Caper.
My number 115 is a game from Japanime, and this is a deck building game. And this is Heart of Crown.
Yeah.
Has less risque artwork. It's actually just really cute artwork.
It does, yeah.
Cute anime artwork. And what you're trying to do in this is you're building a deck of, normal deck building stuff. But the difference here is you're trying to earn enough money to be able to back this princess. You need money and land to create a domain for this princess to live in. Then what you're trying to do is you're trying to get senators, dukes, and I think there's one more, like a special maid that has some points. And you're trying to assign these point cards to the maid to be the first person to get to 20 points. Not the maid, but the princess. All the themes run together.
Yeah, you're doing rough on the theme.
And then once you get to 20 points, if multiple people get to 20 points, there's like this showdown, which we've never had to do because that's never happened. But so there's 2 halves to this game, which is kind of cool. You're doing a store up, buy some cards phase, and then you're trying to get rid of cards to give them to your princess to have the best kingdom, I guess. So that is 115, Heart of Crown. There's also Fairy Garden, which we have as well. Same thing, just more cards.
The text is small. I agree.
It's very small.
Same with Tanto Quarry.
Very small.
Tanto Quarry, the text is small too, which is what stinks. And so it's just like if I play this enough, then I figure out what the card does.
Right.
Honestly. I do like it. I like it, and I bet it's going to be talked about on the podcast, actually. But for me, the king dies, the king dies, and all he has are daughters. And so they actually get to take charge of the kingdom.
It's true.
And so you're picking a princess, or there's actually a set of twins, to back, to take over and be ruler of the kingdom. And so I really like that thematically. So yeah. Anyway, not on my list yet. I think it's higher.
I'm assuming it's in your top 100.
I'm sure it is.
If I was a betting man.
You kind of are. You're a major pusher luck person.
Not in real life.
I know. Never with real money, because we know you like gross and cheap stuff.
Nothing gross and cheap about betting.
My number 114 is another Cthulhu game. Holy crap. I don't even know if Tim's still watching. And that is Kingsport Festival.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
I mean, again, in some ways it's similar to Ancient Terrible Things, but not. Because you roll the dice that are yours. You can get extra ones. And then you're putting them on these different portals to get different things.
Yeah, yep.
And the things are going to help you like withstand some of the stuff that's happening when the Elder Gods are attacking or whatever. Thematically that's happening. And you're trying to help kind of shore up some things to help yourself survive. I like that. And you can't place on the same portal as somebody else. So like if we both rolled 14 with our 2 dice, I can't, if I go claim 14, Jason can't go to 14. So he's like, okay, do I divide these? If I have doubles, how am I going to use them? How can I get the most out of this? What am I trying to get?
There is always a space you can dump to. It's like a terrible, always go there space, but.
Yeah. But I like, again, I love games that allow you to do different things than everybody else. And so you're trying to decide where am I going to put my dice and what kind of things am I going to unlock and use.
So Fred, the only reason I bought this game, it was $5 on Amazon. And I knew it was basically the Cthulhu version of Kingsburg. And I wanted to try Kingsburg. So I couldn't not buy it. It was $5. And I mean, I think the artwork on this is disgusting. So
I don't think it's that bad.
It's just all dark and black.
But it turned out to be a game that
it's a really good game.
I obviously really like. So it's my 114 Kingsport Festival. Pretty fun.
Good game. My number 114 is essentially terraforming Mars underwater. And it is called Underwater Cities.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we need to play this since you like terraforming Mars.
I do.
And this theme is probably more appealing to you.
Yeah.
So what you're doing in this game is you are essentially, you're building this underwater city, hence the name, and you're trying to build different pathways between cities so you can make your city as big as you can. But while you're doing that, you're also building an engine of cards that's going to help you do actions in the worker placement section. So there's this main board where you're going to be sending your submarines, I think is what they are, and you're going to go to a certain area that's going to let you get resources and may let you build some stuff, buy more cards, whatever, and then you're using that stuff to build your underwater city to score the most points. I've only played this one once, so I'm actually not sure if all that stuff I said is correct. I know when I played it, I really liked it, and I know there's some engine building, and I know when I played Terraforming Mars, it felt familiar, even though I'd never played Terraforming Mars. So I think that's because I played this game. So my number 114, Underwater Cities. I actually think Terraforming Mars might be higher on my list because we played it more.
Oh. Yeah, I haven't played that one at all, but Terraforming Mars comes up later on my list, so if it's similar, I would probably like it. I like engine building. My number 113 is basically Le Havre, the
Tiny
Epic Le Havre. And that is Harbour. Le Havre, I like that game. It just has a lot of setup and a lot of fiddliness.
And it takes like 5 rounds to get going. Yeah,
forever. Whereas Harbour is a lot quicker. You're just keeping track of your supply items by sliding these little tokens up and down to the numbers, and that's how you sell them too. I love the artwork in it. It's kind of like kooky. I think it's really fun. This is a TMG or
TMG. The artwork feels like Belfort a little bit. If anybody knows what Belfort is,
I don't know.
It looks similar.
I remember at another company.
Yeah, that's a good job.
I can't believe that. This is the first. I'm like so insanely proud of myself. Everyone's like, Dari freaking knows that. I don't know. I have no idea. If you listen to the podcast, you know I have no clue who makes anything. I do know some Uncle Vital games. That's pretty much it.
I try to know that so I can fill in the gaps.
That's why we're one.
Katie can explain the game, and I'll tell you who makes it.
So Harbour is really fun. You are using these buildings to get your supplies to sell them because you want to make money.
We have that game somewhere.
We do. I think it's over there in the little game section.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I can't figure out how Jason arranges the games.
There's no arrangement. It's
and he
just however it
periodically moves them around.
But I know where they all are.
I have no idea where they all are. He'll periodically just rearrange them. I'm like, oh crap! I knew where one thing was, and now it's totally who knows where. Because I'm like a visual person. I'll just know that color happened in that space. So yeah, Harbour. The one guy on the Harbour card, your own card, there's this one guy who looks like Hank Hill.
He does.
I always want to be, he's green, but otherwise looks
he's
like Hank Hill.
a goblin Hank Hill or something.
So I always want to play his character. It's just a fun, trading It's not contract fulfillment, but
Yeah, you're going to a place, you're getting some resources to either buy a building or sell some stuff
Or,
back.
yeah.
And you're the first person to, I think, build 5 buildings.
so
or
many
something.
buildings. Yeah, and your buildings have points on them, so you're trying to get points through that. But it's a fun game, light-ish, but still good decisions. And the setup is nice, and the table, it doesn't take that much table space.
Just cards.
Just where the cards go. So that is my 113 Harbour.
All right, my number 113, I believe you've already talked about. Somebody talked about it at some point, and it clearly wasn't me because I haven't talked about it.
It was me on the podcast.
All right, so my number 113 is Smartphone Inc. So Katie apparently likes this better than I do, probably because she won by like 1,000 points.
It didn't feel like that way when I was playing it in the middle.
Till the very end. You won
Till the
right.
end.
So this is a game about building smartphones, and then you're setting up a retail distribution or just a distribution channel to get them in different countries. And apparently, your player board is the screen of the cell phone, which I didn't know because
Not the whole player board, just your action.
the little action selection thing.
piece.
So it's like I have an iPhone and I put another iPhone on top of it. I didn't pick up on that, but it's a cool game. You're just trying to get cubes, put cubes down, sell cubes for money, use that money to take other actions. It's a Euro. I like it. So 113 Smartphone Inc.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Katie talked about it on the podcast. Listen to her for what the game actually is.
I don't know if I described it right. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't remember.
I'm sure it's better than what I just did right there.
My number 112 is a card game, and it's a little dry, and I probably love it more than the actual gameplay deserves, but the theme is the best. And my 112 is Marrying Mr. Darcy. And I haven't played it. We have the Emma expansion. Do we have the zombie?
We had the print and play that Picorni, but I haven't printed it out yet.
That Mike sent. Oh, I want it.
Marrying Mr. Darcy.
I love Jane Austen. I love Pride and Prejudice. This game is just playing cards, and if you really get into the theme, that's what makes it really fun. So we played this with one of our friends.
Kind of role playing it is the best part.
Yeah, we played with one of our friends. He's probably 6'3", 350-pound,
big dude,
bald dude,
manliest of men,
who works in a prison. Okay. And he played this with, and he was like about to get in a fight with me over Mr. Darcy. I'm like, oh no, you weren't marrying him. He's like, oh, I'm not marrying him.
He was bad mouthing Bingley or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, Bingley, I don't want him. He's lame. Look at that.
Yeah,
It was
a good time.
It was so fun. And I think the experiences are really fun in this game. And especially if you know the theme. I'd love to play it with the expansions that we haven't, because we don't get it out all that often. I see myself banging the table. I see it.
I know. I'm going to say anything. You can see it yourself.
I just talking with my hands. But I do know what,
Bobby.
No, I know what to do with my hands. They just hit the table while I'm gesticulating. You are trying to get married off because that's what you're doing. So you need to act the correct way in polite society, and you're wanting to improve on your manner and your wit and your intelligence and your money, and you can only do so much, and so you want to make like that ideal match, and you don't want to end up having to run off to Etna Green with what's his face.
You can end up an old maid too.
You can end up an old maid, which
terrible.
is worse than death.
Yeah. I don't remember much about this game, but I remember that.
Why were you an old maid?
I think so.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I'm not good at games. I'm not good at games.
You're not good at marrying suitors, apparently.
Apparently.
It's fun. Like, I think that's why I enjoy it so much. The experience is fun because I also am a literature person, and I especially love Jane Austen. So, 112, Marrying Mr. Darcy.
That's true. There aren't really a ton of Jane Austen themed games. I mean, Obsession could kind of fall in that.
Yes, I would say so.
Marrying Mr. Darcy. There's Farming, which I guess you could possibly put in that world.
There's not a lot of farming in the Regency period.
That's true.
Really, because nobody cares about that much.
Yeah, that's true. All right, my number 112 is a game from Cromer or Kiesling. Not sure.
Not
one.
both?
I think
Just
Michael
one of
Kiesling.
them?
It's just one of them. I think it's Kiesling.
No. I haven't played this one.
And it is from... I can't read that.
I don't even see it.
It's over there. I think mine's Stronghold, but it has a different publisher.
Where?
It's that black box, the Kraftwagen box, right
Oh,
there. The game is Kraftwagen. I didn't say that yet. So this is a game where you're building cars, old race cars from like very early on in like stock car racing, And you're also going to be building cars to sell to certain types of buyers. They're going to want certain types of engines, good body. Some of them just want a discount. And you're trying to provide the best car at the most money or most value. The trick here is your other people are going to be fighting you for those cars, and they may have a car that meets the same criteria, but they make theirs lower cost to win that buyer over because the buyer buys the cheapest one. So you may have yours all ready to go. You have it set at 5, and here comes Brandon setting it at 4, and he steals your sell, which is annoying. But it has a cool thing that Glenn Moore does, I believe, where you have this little like rondelle, and you have to move your piece as far as you want forward to take an action. But once you skip over the action, you can't go back to it. But once people go past the section, if everybody's past it, then that token moves to the end of the track. So you're going to basically hit it again, but it's going to determine, it's going to be a while before you can get back to it. So it's a pretty cool game. I played this a lot.
Not with me, though.
Not with you. There's some special powers you can get from these like engineers and stuff that are going to help you out throughout the game. It's very good. It's not super heavy, and the art is a lot of blue and tan, which is why I like it. So I like it. So my number 112, Kraftwagen. Yeah, I think I've only ever actually played this with Brandon, honestly, and Kim and Jim once.
I'd like to play it because it sounds like I don't like Kanban.
It's a car theme, but it's nothing like Kanban.
And I feel like the mechanics of this sound better than how I feel about Kanban. So my last game of the night, since it is getting quite late, is my number 111, and that is a roll and a flip and right.
I don't know.
On tour.
Oh, I was like, I don't know what game it is.
So on tour, you've got your dry erase map of the United States with circles and the different states, and you are in a rock band, and you are...
Or a country band, or a jazz band, or a hip-hop
band, which is what I always play. And you are trying to have a cross-country tour and hit the most states. You're going to do this by rolling dice and flipping cards. The cards will tell you where the numbers on the dice go in the regions of the United States, and the numbers then you're going to place so that you can connect your tour route from largest to smallest, or smallest to largest, whatever. The numbers have to go in sequential order. You can go like the same number, you can connect those, but the next one after that has to go up.
Or the same, yeah.
So you're thinking, okay, if I roll a lot in the 60s, I'm going to have to kind of keep them close together because they have to be connected. You can't skip over spaces in states, and you're trying to hit the most states, get the longest kind of connected sequential tour. Surprisingly, I really like this game.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm pretty good at it, which I don't understand because it's numbers. But it always works out. Yeah, it is really fun, Fred. And I introduced it to my sister, who's an accountant, so we're very different. And she really enjoyed it, a lot.
Honestly, this game, it's super easy. It's easy to teach and it's easy to play, but it kind of burns your brain a little bit.
Yeah, you're like, oh, am I going to put this?
Sometimes you have to just completely write off a section of America. You're like, I can't even get over that.
You're like, Florida.
I put a 12 over here, and now we're on 90. It's
right.
not happening. Yeah, it's really fun, and it's really, I think this might actually be in my top 100.
Yeah. Okay, Scott. Good. Because I really hate Kanban. And maybe if I play it again, I hate it so much I don't know if I'd give it a second try.
Hang on. So in your defense, we played it at 4. 4 takes a long time. And I was the only one that had played it before. So maybe if we played it at 2, which I've played it at 2 with Brandon, you might like it more.
I don't know.
It's good. It's good.
I mean, I never liked to talk bad about an Uncle Vital game. And my mind got changed about Lisboa and Vinhos. But you taught me the first time, and I was not taught by you the first time in those other 2 games, so...
I know. It's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine.
I don't know if there's redemption for Kanban.
Play with some other peeps.
It's because what seems like you should score you points doesn't. So I'm like, why am I even bothering with this crap?
The way you get points is different. It feels like you should be able to build a car, and that's how you get points. So that gets you a point.
Yeah.
The points is upgrading your tiles, it's different. The in-game points are more... building the car is just a means to an end. You have to have a car to get into your garage to do some things. All right, so my number 111 is not Kanban. That'll be up way in a little bit. Crusaders, Thy Will Be Done, which is a Mancala type game. You got a little player board that you're doing some Mancala on to pick the actions. So I pick up some pieces and I move it around to go where I want to go. And that's going to translate to moving stuff out on the board to try to conquer territories, put certain types of buildings out to make different actions more valuable and score points. I know you don't love this as much, but I've played it twice. You've only played it once, I think.
Right. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah. I didn't like it much the first time either. The second time I liked it better.
Yeah.
But I like the Mancala. I really like that. I think that's a cool way to do action selection, like Trajan. 5 Tribes has it going on. It's really fun. So the board part, I can kind of take it or leave it, but I really like that Mancala part. So that's kind of why I made my list. So 111, Crusaders, That Will Be Done. Okay.
So that's all we've got for tonight. We did 130 through 111. I'll give you a little recap in case you missed the top. My 130 was Sushi Go Party, Sushi Roll.
The sushis.
My 129 is Ancient Terrible Things. 128 is Calico. 127, Roll Camera. 126, Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. 125, Heaven and Ale. 124, Xi'an. 123, Fantastic Factories. 122, Black Fleet. 121, Sanssouci. 120, Santa's Workshop. 119, King of New York. 118, Bob Ross Art of Chill. 117, Dogs of War. 116, Bring Out Yer Dead. 115, Caper. 114, Kingsport Festival. 113, Harbour. 112, Marrying Mr Darcy. And 111, On Tour.
I was looking at my list. I was like, that's not any of my games.
I did that last week. Remember I told you, you're like, no, it's not your list. Of course not. It's not your list.
All right, so my number 130 of my games is Revolution. 129, Argent the Consortium. 128, Vasco da Gama. 127, Victorian Masterminds. 126, Illimat. 125, the Staufer Dynasty. 124, Cargo Noir. 123, Sanssouci. 122, Raiders of the North Sea. It's really funny watching the video.
I know, behind it.
122, I said that. 121, Asgard. 120, Shogun. 119, Akrotiri. 118, Clans of Caledonia. 117, Freedom the Underground Railroad. 116, Burano. 115, Heart of Crown. 114, Underwater Cities. 113, Smartphone Inc. 112, Kraftwagen. And 111, Crusaders, That Will Be Done.
So we have our last 10, maybe Tuesday?
Yeah, sometime
this week.
Yeah.
We'll try.
It'll only be 10, so it shouldn't be near.
It'll only be 10, so it won't be near as long because it's getting late. I've still got papers to grade out the wazoo tonight. But thank you for hanging in there with us. You guys are awesome. We love just talking about games and being dumb, being pretty okay.
All right, I'm going to try to show the board.
Yeah.
But you'll probably have to take your mic off because it's shorter. So okay, so hang on. It might get a little
Bumpy.
Funky. All right, here we go. So it's coming over here.
Here it goes.
I'll try to do it.
Wait, is it underneath?
Just unplug this for a second.
It's gonna.
Just a quick second.
It'll die.
Oh no. It's getting crazy here. Sorry. Take that.
Okay.
All right, here we go. There's the window that we opened.
What's that?
Here we go. Here's the board.
Okay, look at it, people. Oh wait,
Look, you can read that perfectly. Meeple Land, Joe Coon, Lewis and Clark, Feudum.
Warshone third. Oh, that's supposed to be warehouse.
That says warehouse. You're such a jerk.
No. Borneo? Is there a game? What game is Borneo?
Borneo? What are you talking about? It's Burano.
That is not. Are you all are seeing this, right? You really.
Borneo is not even a game.
I know. Venus.
You're talking about this right here.
Venus
right?
de Giant. What is that? Yes.
Vasco da Gama.
That does not look like Vasco da Gama.
You guys are so mean. Katie's so mean to me. You're seeing this right now. Look, our window's so bad. Look at this cool stuff. Some cool stickers here.
This is behind the scenes.
But yeah, there's the board.
There's the board, which is impossible to read.
It is not. Katie just doesn't understand my writing.
You want to try Out of Rhubarb.
All right, so on that note, I'm going to...
Wait, which one's supposed to be Out of Rhubarb?
We're going to sign up. What? Out of Rhubarb?
That's what Fred said.
What are you talking about? Where is it?
Out of Rhubarb.
Out of rhubarb.
Oh, it kind of does at the bottom there. Bottom left. I think it looks like...
At this?
That looks like Quirk and Perdergast.
It's quill and parchment. Gosh, guys.
Thank you. It's not just me, Fred.
All right. On that note, Fred, I'm getting off here, and we're signing out.
Bye, everybody. Keep gaming.
Keep gaming.